Hi, my name's Steve Poutzes. I'm the executive producer for Dead Space 2. Dead Space 2 takes place in a location called the Sprawl, which is a city on a mining installation on the Titan moon of Saturn. And it's basically a big space city where lots of different people live, and it kind of evolved out of the mining encampment that was there, where they were extracting minerals, and over time it kind of built out and the city got bigger and bigger, and now it's a big space city.
Is he alive?
Isaac Clarke. I'm going to show you some images and I want you to tell me about them.
Using the words epic terror experience is just an example of the way that we're committed to making sure that Dead Space 2 lives up to the lineage of Dead Space and delivers on horror, tension, and scares. If people are concerned about Dead Space going away from the survival horror, the terror, and the tension that are the things that kind of got Dead Space on the map, so to speak, with gamers, they should not worry about that, because we are not turning Dead Space into some sort of run and gun, shoot 'em up, pow pow, space marine romp. Dead Space 2 is all about the tension, the terror, the story, the character Isaac Clarke, the necromorphs, the marker, all of those things that are clearly and distinctly Dead Space.
It was just a short, but put things in my head. Not so much.
So I can't really get into the reason why Isaac's there, because that's spoiler territory. But Isaac is on the Sprawl, and Dead Space 2 takes place 3 years after the original game. People are going to have to stay tuned, follow us on our Facebook page, and just keep their ears peeled for more details. So one of the ideas around giving Isaac a voice is that we figured, you know, from the last game, he saw some pretty gnarly shit, right? Like, he was in the middle of this whole necromorph outbreak, and he was like dismembering limbs and blasting sacks and doing all kinds of stuff. So it made sense to us that in Dead Space 2 he would actually have a voice and kind of talk about and relate back to the things that he did in Dead Space 1. I wouldn't necessarily say Isaac's a leader, but I would say that he's a little bit more seasoned and a little bit more experienced, and because he's, you know, the guy that survived the previous outbreak, he may have some tips to pass on to people.
Shit in my head.
A couple new things that we're going to showcase in Dead Space 2 is our impalement and our decompression. Impalement is the ability to pick up discarded limbs from enemies or use the javelin gun to fire a projectile at and nail an enemy to a surface. Decompression is the idea of Isaac being able to create a vacuum in an area and actually suck enemies out into space. Now, not only is Isaac going to be able to use that to his advantage, but sometimes it'll actually be to his disadvantage. Maybe when he thinks he's shooting an enemy in front of a dark pane of glass and that window is actually a decompression window, some crazy things are going to happen. We're going to bring back the idea of multiple suits, just like in the previous Dead Space, where you were able to kind of buy, find, and upgrade your suit throughout the game. That's coming back, and there's going to be a variety of different looks.
Where are you going? It's not over between us. You can't run from me forever.
So we've evolved everything as far as the visual quality of the game. Hopefully people have seen that in the little bits that we've shown. The art team's doing a fantastic job as far as creating the assets, creating the world, the characters, the animation. Everything feels like it's been upgraded, and the engineers are doing a super job just supporting the team by, you know, enhancing features and empowering the team to do some really cool stuff. So we're bringing back the same deferred lighting system we had last time that allowed us to get those really dramatic lights. And then as far as the dynamic lights, yes, Isaac will be able to interact with those by shooting out lights, knocking them over. Enemies can knock over lights, creating interesting shadows and kind of creating a tense and creepy environment. One of the new features in Dead Space 2 is our interactive and reactive environments. In the previous game, we really were excited about the visual fidelity we were able to deliver, but the team really wanted to do even more. And so this time, rather than just having things look super awesome, now the players are going to be able to actually interact with those things in unique ways. Like we talked about with the decompression, or, you know, simply having a shot miss, hit a pane of glass, and create an object that players can use actually against the necromorphs. So they'll be able to interact with the environment in different ways and use that to their strategic advantage. Yes, we're going to have multiplayer. You're going to be able to strategically dismember your friends. We'll be talking about that later in the year.